The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCmedia News, we preview next week's Fall River Municipal Election. Citizens for Citizens launches its winter fuel assistance program for the season, and FRACC's latest mural project is taking shape downtown. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. Fall River's 2023 municipal election is this Tuesday. Polls will open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. across 27 precincts in the city. The city had a less than impressive turnout for the September preliminary election, with 12.5% of registered voters taking part. So what's the prediction for the turnout next Tuesday?
My prediction, I'm going to be very optimistic, and I'm going to say that the turnout for November's election will be 32%, which is basically average for a November municipal election. I want to say that is identical to 2021, so I'm going to be optimistic, and hopefully I'm wrong on this again, Keith, that we'll have a higher turnout than 32%. So I'm encouraging everyone out there who is a registered voter, please get out to your polling precinct and make your voice heard.
So who's on the ballot for the election? Voters will be deciding who will be Fall River's next mayor and members of its city council and school committee. In the race for mayor, former mayor and Bristol County District Attorney Sam Sutter will face incumbent Paul Coogan, who is seeking his third term. 18 candidates are vying for 9 seats on the Fall River City Council. The order of the candidates on the ballot, as determined by lottery, are current councilors Laura Washington and Linda Pereira, followed by challengers Alexander Silva and Ricky Tiff. Incumbent Brad Kilby is next, and challenger Gabriel Boomer Amaral. Former councilor and current school committee member Paul Hart is looking for a return, as is former councilor Cliff Ponte. Next on the ballot is newcomer Joseph Salvador, followed by incumbents Andrew Raposo, Michelle Dion, and Sean Kadim in slots 10, 11, and 12. The next 4 spots are occupied by challengers Bob Pearson, Jordan James Sylvia, Paulo Amaral, and Gloria Sadler. Incumbent Joseph Camara is at number 17, followed by newcomer Joshua Texera, rounding out the ballot. 10 candidates are seeking 6 seats on the school committee. The order of the ballot looks like this. Newcomer Warren Alves is listed first, followed by incumbents Mimi Larrabee and Shelley Pereira. Challengers Rena Brown and Charles Chase are next, followed by former school committee member Tom Corey, who is seeking a return. Incumbents Kevin Aguiar and Bobby Bailey are next, followed by challenger Colin Dias, with incumbent Sarah Rodrigues rounding out the list. Let's hear one last time from the 2 candidates running for mayor, with comments recorded as part of our Meet the Candidates program.
Hi folks, I'm Sam Sutter, and I'm running for mayor because I care deeply about Fall River, and I think Fall River can have a very bright future, but Fall River needs positive change right now. Fall River needs to reduce the tax burden on its hardworking citizens. Fall River needs a much improved management of its budget, and that goes with the tax burden. The more efficiently we manage the budget, the more we can reduce the tax burden. Fall River needs a dramatic reduction in crime. Fall River needs much more affordable housing. Fall River needs to figure out how to control the skyrocketing rents. And Fall River needs to bring much more new business into our city. To bring new business into this city, you should have somebody in charge who knows how to build a business and somebody who knows how to bring in new business. I've done both. I've built a successful law practice here in the city. And when I was mayor, I finalized Amazon, I brought Market Basket, the redevelopment of the South Coast Marketplace, and the expansion of many small businesses. An essential component of bringing in new business and making the city more livable is cutting crime dramatically. Violent crime has risen to unacceptable levels under Paul Coogan. I know how to cut violent crime and property crime, and I proved it when I was district attorney. Equally important, the city budget has been mismanaged for the past 4 years, and we're in trouble as a result. I've proven that I can manage a budget extremely efficiently. Remember, I was district attorney during the recession. My budget was cut almost 15%, but nevertheless, we continued to cut crime and get great results in the courtroom for the people of Fall River. I'll also bring in new and successful ideas for improving our schools. We need to look at what's working better in other cities and bring it here, to reducing homelessness and to creating much more affordable housing. That is a huge issue that is not getting enough attention. We need to do something about the skyrocketing rents. This mayor turned his back on a $400 million affordable housing trust fund, and he didn't give any of the American Rescue Plan Act, that $90 million, to the issue of affordable housing. I will. You have those promises, and I will keep them. Thank you for considering me, and I respectfully ask you to please vote on November 7th. Thank you.
Hello, Fall River. 3.5 years ago, I stepped into the role of mayor ready to work. I knew that the job would require my all, every single day. Since then, I've worked to bring stability, integrity, and transparency back to the 6th floor. I humbly ask for your vote on November 7th so that we can continue our work of moving Fall River forward. During my time as mayor, Fall River has weathered a great deal of change, challenges, and successes. The change has been visible over the last 3 years. You have probably noticed that our streets, sidewalks, and parks have undergone significant renovations. Properties that have been vacant for decades are being rehabilitated. The waterfront is being transformed through the project on Route 79 right alongside our brand new city pier. We now have a new high school to take pride in, and other schools across the city have been remodeled to better suit our students' needs. We have made huge investments in public safety, providing equipment and training to our first responders. We have taken a collaborative, well-rounded approach to homelessness and substance use. We have managed the use of ARPA money to save taxpayers' dollars and fund capital improvement projects, while also setting Fall River up for future financial successes. All of this being said, serving as mayor goes far beyond being any specific issues and accomplishments. As mayor, you must be humble, listen to others, you must be creative and flexible. You must be willing to collaborate, sacrifice, and compromise. Building and maintaining relationships is key to this position. Beyond your attitude, you must be willing to give nights and weekends over to this job. It is what our residents deserve. Snowstorms, house fires, community events, these things do not stop when City Hall is closed. I am proud that my commitment to this city goes far beyond the operating hours at Government Center. My time as mayor has shown me how much the residents of Fall River appreciate a mayor who is out in the community. Whether I'm shopping at Market Basket or stopping by a Little League game, people feel comfortable sharing their successes and challenges with me. I want to make it clear, one candidate in this election has a proven track record, a track record of being present both at City Hall and in the community, a track record of successful leadership, even through historic hardships, a track record of working around the clock to better Fall River. I am the only candidate with that record. There's plenty more to do in the next 2 years, and I look forward to continuing what we have started. I specifically ask for your vote, and respectfully, on Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.
The Elections Office wants to remind residents who may still have mail ballots that they need to be returned to the Elections Office by 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 7th. They cannot be dropped off at any polling place. We want you to be prepared to vote on Tuesday. We have a webpage dedicated to the candidates running in this year's election. Visit frmedia.org/election2023, where you'll find replays of our forums and debates and see the candidates who recorded statements with us and sat for a brief interview. You'll also find a link to the polling places in Fall River. Any questions about your voting status can be directed to the Elections Office at 508-324-2630. As the calendar shifts this week from October to November, Citizens for Citizens Fuel Assistance Program is back, helping local residents in need heat their homes this winter season. Program Coordinator Dennis Medeiros says last year the agency received approximately 14,000 applications for fuel assistance in Fall River and Taunton and provided help for nearly 11,000. The benefit is welcome during a time of increased costs for all households.
I think a lot of people count on this. What some people may not realize is we're paying for their heating bill, but that when we do that, we free up money for them to help in other areas in their life. Especially with, everybody knows it's no secret, the cost of goods right now is just insane. You see an elderly couple that's just living on retirement money. That can be difficult at times. So, if we can pay $600-700 on their heating source, that frees them up for either medication or groceries or whatever else they need. Last year we had a lot of big hikes in utilities. National Grid, I believe, was pretty high. Liberty, I don't remember what their percentage was, but they increased as well. So there's still that. I think people, they're always trying to catch up on their bills, which makes it difficult. So we're just trying to get those and try to help them as best we can.
Mr. Medeiros says with the program's liberal income guidelines, he expects more families to take advantage of the benefit.
I know there are more people out there that can qualify for this program. Sometimes I've heard people that don't even know about us, which is weird because we've been around 50, 60 years. Just a single person is just under $46,000. So if you just work a regular job, if you think about it, if you make $20 an hour, that's $800 a week. That qualifies you as a single person for us, right? If you do 800 times 52, a family of 4 is $87,294. That's a lot of money in the city of Fall River. So I'm hoping that these people, that they notice that they do qualify. It's not a hard process. It's literally just getting the income guideline, the income documentation to us. And any other documents that we might need.
Whether you received assistance in the past or are looking to apply for the first time, the process of applying is straightforward.
Everybody who has applied within the last 2 years will receive a recertification application in the mail from us. Outside of the heat included ones, if your heat includes in your rent, those usually come a little later, I want to say mid-December or so. But everybody else at this point should have their applications if they've applied in the past. If they're reapplying, they just have to return that application they receive in the mail with any updated income or any changes. If they've changed their address, if their rent's increased. We usually go by the last 4 weeks of their income. So if they're working, it would be pay stubs, their last 4 weeks of pay stubs. If they're retired, it's usually 1099s or some sort of letter from Social Security, pension source. You can also apply online at www.cfcinc.org. We do have an online portal which makes it easier for people. We do try to reach those working people in the area.
For those who receive fuel assistance, there are other programs available for which they may qualify for that will potentially save them more money on their energy bills.
They can be approved for weatherization on their home. They can be approved for an appliance management program where they can go in, check your light bulbs, check your windows, check your appliances to make sure that they are energy efficient. They also qualify for our heater repair program where, depending on the furnace, they can replace that or repair it depending on the condition. So that's all generated through this one application. So it starts here, and then once you're approved and you need those services, we could push that on to those other programs in our agency.
For more information on CFC's Fuel Assistance Program, you can call 508-679-0041. With the holiday season on the doorstep, the Salvation Army of Fall River is asking local residents to contribute to its annual food drive for those in need within our region. Specifically, the Salvation Army is seeking donations to help 638 families, over 2,000 individuals in total, enjoy their Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays.
In Thanksgiving, we are giving meals, only meals, for these families. And for Christmas, we're doing the meals plus the coats for kids. So we have all the distribution. We're raising now the coats with different companies that are providing that help too. But the great need that we have, and again, I hope you understand that our building, we don't have the storage space for freezer and all that. That's why we're asking, instead of a frozen turkey, if you can come with a $10 gift card, so we can provide that for the family so they can get their meats. They could stop by, give us a call, or contact us through the Facebook page, whatever place they want to contact. And make a donation is good. We have a website that is going to be a QR code over there too to make an online donation too. So yeah, we have different ways that they can do it.
Unfortunately, the Salvation Army is no longer accepting applications from needy families. For information on how to donate, contact the Salvation Army at 508-679-7900. Visit their website or their Facebook page. The City of Fall River this week showcased new equipment purchased for the Department of Community Maintenance, or DCM, and the Department of Community Utilities with money provided by the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. DCM is the recipient of 2 new street sweepers that will be put in service right away, with an eye toward ensuring streets and storm drains remain free of debris.
Street sweepers, most people think it's just out there to pick up the trash on the roadways and things like that. That's not really what their point is. One of their major points is to help clean up any sand, debris, leaves, and stop that from getting into our stormwater system. That helps prevent all of that dirt and debris and phosphorus and nutrients running off down into the river or into our ponds and streams. You know, everybody here knows about the South Watuppa Pond, the algae bloom issues that we have out there. A huge loading factor of that phosphorus, the food that feeds into that, is from the leaves that fall from the trees. Just try to make sure that you clean up the leaves from your yard. You don't blow them out into the street. Clean them up. The city has the brown barrels available for pickup of all of your leaves. If you just blow them out into the street, that's more that ends up into either the sewer or the stormwater system. Also, if you can help clean the gutters in front of your house, the leaves from the gutters in front of your house, or if there's a catch basin near your house, make sure that's clean so that the drainage system will work properly and minimize flooding in areas.
The city is expected to receive a 3rd street sweeper, which includes a vacuum, in the near future. The cost of the 3 sweepers was approximately $950,000. The city also invested in an infrared hotbox machine that will aid in the repair of local streets.
The hotbox machine is especially something I wanted to make sure we got a couple of out of the ARPA money, because potholes in Fall River are trouble all the time, and when you throw a shovel full in the winter, it never takes. But if you can use the hot box machine to cut a square and fill it with hot asphalt in the middle of January, it's definitely going to fix the hole, at least to get us through the season.
The city also announced it will be adding back 24-hour emergency medical services to the Maplewood neighborhood without impacting service to the rest of the city.
The department is expanding the rescue coverage for the 911 side of the city. So with Medic 6 going back to the Candeas, the reason is that gives Maplewood Park area neighborhood 24-hour coverage, but we're adding another rescue 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts through the high impact hours, which would be 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. That truck will take the place of Medic 6 at the center station. So we're a little compressed for space, so it made sense to bring the 24-hour truck back to the neighborhood and have the 12-hour truck run with Medic 4 out of the center. So the center has 24-hour coverage, so all neighborhoods have the 24/7 coverage with the impact truck running out of the middle of the city.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, I'm Pamela Martin from FRG TV.
And I'm Keith Tebow from FRC Media.
Join us on Tuesday, November 7th, as we track polling numbers from the Fall River Biennial Municipal Election.
Our live coverage begins at 8 o'clock as we bring you election results from all 27 precincts.
And our camera crew will be canvassing the city all day, as well as making stops at the candidates' headquarters.
You can watch us live on FRG TV Channel 18 FRC Media Channel 95, and on our Facebook pages.
And for you candidates, we will be broadcasting from our Fred TV studio at the new Durfee High School. Make it a point to stop by. Join us on the air.
Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And remember, do your civic duty and vote.
That's right, and we'll see you right here on election night, November 7th.
Welcome back. The union that represents faculty and professional staff at the state's 15 community colleges, including Bristol Community College in Fall River, is seeking action by the legislature to approve its collective bargaining agreement. The Massachusetts Community College Council, or MCCC, is asking the legislature to pass a supplemental budget that will fund a 2-year contract that began in July of 2021 and ended this past June. At a rally in support of the MCCC this week, Bristol Chapter President Michael Geary said the union has remained committed in its support of students through difficult times and deserves to be compensated.
We're folks who have been working hard throughout the course of the pandemic, and this is a contract that not just expired, but is also 2 years old prior to that. And at this point, as cost of living has gone up, it's been very difficult for everyone working here, folks who live locally, folks who have a commute to get here with the cost of gas going up and such. But just at the end, what it comes down to here is that we're playing politics with agreed upon contracts. This is not what you should be playing politics with. So that's why we're here today, right? Fair pay, now. Fund the contract, now. Fund the contract, now.
Bristol Professor of Sociology and MCCC Statewide Secretary Colleen Avedikian said not only is the union dealing with a lack of funding for a recently expired contract, but is being slighted as it works towards its next agreement.
The governor has chosen thus far to hold just the MCCC to the parameters that were put out by the previous governor, Governor Baker, which is 2%. Our legal team believes that Governor Healy can, in fact, decide to offer us the same 8% 1 year that's been offered to every other higher ed union in the state. We support her Mass Reconnect. We're looking forward to the day when community colleges will be free, hopefully starting next year. But we need to have the kind of support also of our staff and our faculty so we can adequately support our students. It is hard to retain and attract faculty and staff when the pays are already so low. So why not, at a time of cost of living so high, why not bring the MCCC up with everyone else?
Other Bristol union and non-union members were on hand at the rally to offer support, including President Dr. Laura Douglas.
I stand with you, and I stand with you today because we really do need our legislature to go ahead and commit to funding this very important collective bargaining agreement. You have been without a contract and without a raise for a very long time, during a very hard time. It has been way too long, and I am really sorry that it has taken so long for this to occur for you.
It's expected that the legislature will likely take up the supplemental budget bill, which includes funding the MCCC contract, sometime this month. If you drive by Milliken Boulevard downtown, you'll likely see activity taking place outside the city's Pearl Street Garage. That is the canvas for Fall River Art and Culture Coalition's latest community mural project.
It's very visible, and once the mural's on it, you'll see that you can actually see it from major roadways besides Milliken Boulevard here in the city. It was also selected because the city was willing to be a partner, and that was really important in it. There's a lot of great buildings that face out to heavily trafficked both cars and foot roadways, but to have someone behind you, you know, we would love to continue to do this in the future with businesses and everything behind us, like we've done before in the past, but we're really grateful for the city being on board and allowing us to use the parking garage for this.
The mural project is being funded by a state earmark that supports FRACC's goal of making art accessible to all and growing the city's creative economy. This project will be led by an artist hailing from New York.
BK Fox, she is from New York area, and she was one of the artists. We had a great response to the artist call, and she was selected through a committee that was comprised of Fall River residents, FRACC members, and both members from City Hall. And so in selecting BK Fox, she is someone who demonstrated not only great skill in doing large-scale, very tall work, but her approach to community and understanding where her mural was going to reside and looking to make that connection, and then just the skill behind her work. She's really a phenomenal artist in the way that she actually works with spray paint, and you would not know when you first look at her work. You would think perhaps it's liquid paint, but I really appreciate it. Has a very kind of classical approach. She does a lot of portrait work in her work, and so I think it's an artist who is accessible, and her narrative speaks to a lot of people. So we're thrilled to have BK Fox on board.
Ms. Okino says the theme of the mural fits into the generational fabric of Fall River.
Ultimately, really what we came back to was the idea and theme of family. Fall River is a city where roots go deep. The branches may stretch out far from the tree, but the roots seem to come back to Fall River in a lot of ways. So that is one of the ways that we're looking at the theme. But the other thing is also just the relationship of father and daughter, or a male role model, and you know, perhaps a stepdaughter or aunt, or uncle and niece, and that importance that male role model plays in their life. And I know just from my own experience, I very much love my father, and I know that BK herself, you know, her relationship with her father is something that she also wanted to express. And so we felt that the theme was very universal in a lot of ways, and showing family and showing positivity through this mural.
The project will also allow local artists to assist and learn the techniques of mural art.
What we've done is we've brought on a number of apprentices that are Fall River residents that had interest in learning how to do murals themselves. They are artists, and some of them have maybe done some murals, but never to this scale. So they'll be able to be there and to ask questions and to learn firsthand how this is done. And one of the things that FRACC will be offering later on as part of this is BK will be doing a workshop for folks to really dig into kind of tips and tricks and resources that she can share to help others achieve, you know, public art through mural.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Please make a point to vote on Tuesday, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Hi, I'm Pamela Martin from FRG TV.
And I'm Keith Tebow from FRC Media.
Join us on Tuesday, November 7th, as we track polling numbers from the Fall River Biennial Municipal Election.
Our live coverage begins at 8 o'clock as we bring you election results from all 27 precincts.
And our camera crew will be canvassing the city all day, as well as making stops at the candidates' headquarters.
You can watch us live on FRG TV Channel 18, FRC Media Channel 95, and on our Facebook pages.
And for you candidates, we will be broadcasting from our Fred TV studio at the new Durfee High School. Make it a point to stop by. Join us on the air.
Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And remember, do your civic duty and vote.
That's right, and we'll see you right here on election night, November 7th.